Champion, campione, in a world that is ever changing, our hope needs to be rooted in someone who does not change. Sanibonani Mzansi, Thobela Mzansi, Dumela Mzansi, Bon dia, Africa do Sul, goeiedag, good day to all of you talented, gifted, and potential-filled campeones, champions out there. Welcome to King and Me. My name is William George Moyses, and this is hashtag, I almost said Eminem, but it is Eminem, Motivational Mondays. Welcome. Good to have you guys here. On my left, your guys' right hand side, because it's opposite. Yeah, Linda. I'm standing with Lisa. Ah, champ. What was?
It's the whoa.
What's the whoa?
No.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, whoa.
No. Okay. I think let's resort to one of these. Yes.
There
and
we go.
Jump.
Standard.
Yes. All right. 100%. But yeah, I've made mistakes. You might have made some mistakes too. Lisa, you've made some mistakes. Plenty of mistakes.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing just one in particular
Only
that
one.
you've made? Only one. Yes,
Okay.
only one.
Yeah.
Data, yabon. There's data.
So we have to,
You have to
keep it here.
3 minutes.
Don't offend.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. So in my life, a big lesson that I had to learn, and 2016 particularly taught me that, it was like the final stage of that learning curve. But what it went back to was me putting my expectations on people instead of on God.
Oof.
And that never ever leads to anything good ever, because people are human. We are human. As good as they can be, we are human. So I think what happened is, coming from a broken background and a broken family, when I eventually stepped into a place where I saw wholeness, and I stepped into a church where people loved you and where they showed you God, it became difficult for me when my pastors or my leaders couldn't live up to the expectation I placed on them.
Yeah.
Which was very unfair on my part, because they're not God, and only God's hands are big enough to hold your heart, and they're the perfect shape for your specific heart, and He's the only one who knows your heart to the point where He knows what you need and when you need it, and He's the only one who can satisfy the need that's inside your heart. And so throughout my life, I can now look back and see the moments where He was trying to pull me to Him and say, I'm the only one that can satisfy you. But obviously, me knowing everything, right?
Sure.
That's what we do. We know everything.
100%. How many Facebook? No, I'm joking.
Knowing everything, I always went off onto my own path, doing my own thing, thinking I knew better. And whenever I got like a new friend, I would latch onto them and put every expectation I had onto them. When I stepped into church, for the first time, actually giving my own life to God, not just via other people saying, oh, this is a good church, whatever, but actually meeting God face to face and saying, today I give my life to the Lord. From that point on, I would put my expectation on my pastor and my cell leader, and both the friend and the cell leader, whenever they didn't meet the expectation the way I wanted to, I would literally just turn away from God and be like, you were never there for me. You didn't care for me. You don't care what's going on in my life. Look at them. If they're supposed to represent you, then why aren't they loving me? But they are not Him. And it was a very difficult lesson, that to the point in 2016, God really brought everything to like the standstill point where I was on my knees with nothing, right? So in 2016, everything was building up. I had turned away from God, which had started at a point of unforgiveness towards my mom. And I was like a wrecking ball going through my whole life, destroying relationships, until we got to December, and literally everyone close to me had left me. Like in some way or another, they had just left my life. And I got home that day after like the final person was like, you know what, I'm done with you. And I was just like, I was so broken, hey. And I had really turned my back on God. I was just like, I'm done with you, man. I don't want this. It's because I'm always half in, half out. So I'd rather just be all out than with you, because it hurts. And I got to my room and I cried. Like I cried from a place I've never cried before. It was so broken. And I said to God, I was like, if you are not here with me now, I'm gonna die. There's nothing left. There's nothing. And I felt Him take His hand and put it on my chest. He didn't say deep things to me. He didn't say, ground-breaking things. He didn't open my eyes to something spectacular, but I felt His presence. And from that moment on, I knew that he had never left my side and he will never leave my
Sure.
side. And anything that I would ever need is only found in him.
Come on.
And yeah, so that was the biggest
Power.
mistake I'd made. It's just really putting expectations on people because they can't fulfill it. They
Most
can't.
definitely. And people change.
People do change.
You know, I looked at my head the other day and I had some gray hairs on my head. So my hair
happens.
color is changing. People change. You know, you go from point A to point B. So
Yeah.
the key is to put your hope in someone who does not change,
Exactly.
which is Jesus, who is the same yesterday, today, and
forever.
forever. And again, with that being said, I want every single one of you watching this. We don't say this to sound cute. It's the truth. Know today, namhlanje, that your life matters both to God and to us.